Dogman! This is a movie I was very, very excited for. If you don't know, I'm a huge DreamWorks fan, and I was very excited to see this movie. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to think about it, but I decided to check this one out, and I'm very happy I did. Um, just being the DreamWorks fan I am. But I gotta say, I was still disappointed by this movie. The thing is, guys, this movie, if you don't know, is based on some books written by the author, Dave Pilkey. And those books are also written by the same guy who did Captain Underpants. So these are two properties that DreamWorks has gotten the rights to and adapted into movies. And I thought they were going to be similar in tone because if you read those books, they are similar in tone. But it really wasn't. I think this is a great movie for kids. Like if you have kids, go take your kids. But in terms of anything to really offer the adults, it's not great. Nothing like I didn't watch this movie in anger or anything. But I did watch this movie and roll my eyes a couple times and be like, all right, this is a little boring. Because it's very repetitive with some of the beats. The Dogman can't really say much because he's a dog and he just makes dog noises. And so, yeah, they were really kind of stretching to make this movie an hour and a half, which I get. And so I think that's why they kind of focus on the villain more and his little side plot line with his clone Little P. And so, like, I did enjoy this movie overall. I could watch it again, but it'd be like as background noise as an adult. It wouldn't really be a movie I'm sitting there paying attention to. I'm super invested into. As a kids movie, they're gonna eat this up. They're gonna love it. They're gonna laugh. There's lots of great moments for them. And I'm not gonna say there was absolutely no jokes that work for me. There's a great bit about a phone line of a dude just saying life's unfair. That was pretty funny. Like there's jokes like that got close to those kind of jokes that really made me laugh in that Captain Underpants movie. But that's not really what's here. The animation is really good though. What I really like about this is obviously it's trying to capture the style of the books, but it also has a stop motion vibe to them. The actual character designs and the way they move, they almost feel like stop motion puppets. Where the rest of the world is definitely like a comic booky kind of world. And so it's kind of very unique animation style. And a lot of the action scenes were very fluid. You know, there's a whole chase scene where he's being flown around trying to catch this guy. That sequence, the cinematography and the way the animation was done was really cool. So I don't know, I enjoyed a lot of that. I enjoyed a lot of the characters. But it you know, and it had a heart, surprisingly. Like, there's little moments with Dogman just reflecting on his life. Now that he's a dogman, because he used to be a person, and they just put the dog's head on the body, so it's kind of like, okay. And then you have the other part of it with little Petey and Petey's relationship and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, that's fun. Kind of heartfelt, so I was a bit shocked about that. But like I said, this is still a kid's movie. None of the humor here is really for adults, except for like one or two bits. The emotions here, I think, are some things that adults could connect with, but not really enough that it's a watch for them. So, I think with critics, it's kind of this awkward thing of critics don't really want to acknowledge that kids' movies that don't work for them are good movies. Because, it's a kids' movie. You know, they can be a little bit harsh. It's a weird thing where critics are too harsh on kids' movies, and they're also not harsh enough sometimes. Like, you know, some of those Illumination movies deserve a lot worse reviews than they get, but it is what it is. But movies like this, I feel like, are the kind of movies where they're too harsh. I'm like, if someone watched this movie and didn't, if a grown-ass adult watched this movie and didn't like it, I get it. I totally get you. But it's a fucking kids movie that is working for kids. and it doesn't really teach them any bad morals. And I guess it teaches them some okay morals, but for the most part, it gives them an entertaining movie to watch. That's fine. You know, this is the kind of movie that if I had watched as a kid, I would have really enjoyed, grew up, had some nostalgia for, mostly forgot about. I will say, if you are a Dogman fan who loves the books, this movie is definitely still worth seeing, though, because there is a lot of references to the books. I've only read 2 of the books. I plan to review more of the books, but like when I was reading the books, I really enjoyed them. And seeing this movie, there were so many references that even I got with the limited knowledge of the books. So I think there's something to get out of this movie if you're a fan of the Dogman books. It's a fun movie. I'm also surprised, they didn't try to tie this into Captain Underpants more. I get it, though. That movie's a little bit old now. It's been about, 10 years, I think, since that movie? So, I guess not 10 years. It's 8 years ago. Wow. I don't know. Definitely worth a watch if you're a Dogman fan or a kid. Everybody else, I don't know. I guess if it still looks interesting, you stream it. Not worth a watch in theaters, if you ask me.